going on, people? It's Timmy Joe making videos about computer parts all up on the internet. Today on the program, Fractal Design sent me over a case. Never sent one before to me, and thank you very much for including me in this Define 7 launch. This is a very important case, a very cool case. Is it for everybody? No, but it is so damn versatile that it blew me away. I honestly, when I got it unboxed, I was thinking, that's a really big case. Like, what's with all the room in the front of it? Didn't think too much of it. I thought that'll be a really good case for water cooling. And then I opened up this thing. Like, there's a box that comes in the box. It's got some other stuff in it. It's like, oh yeah, this would be pretty good for some water cooling. So I thought maybe I wouldn't even do the review that just like, you know, close to the time frame of the release date or the embargo lift. I would really just build a water cooled system, and I've been wanting to build a, you know, custom loop for just my main rig, for like my editing rig, something that looks like nice in the background. And I thought this would be a very good case to do that in. But then I started taking it apart and peeling back the oniony layers that is this case, and I was like, damn, this thing is special. This thing is very interesting, and it's a breath of fresh air compared to a lot of other cases out there in a similar price range. So this thing is not for everybody. It's definitely at a little bit of a premium price point, but it totally makes sense as to why it's in that price point. It's like for focused like work. It's not just a pretty case at $100 with a bunch of RGB. In fact, there is no RGB in this whole case. This case is function focused. It's laser focused on doing a bunch of things really good, which is pretty awesome, pretty amazing. So we'll get to the prices then. So I just reviewed the Lian Li Landcool 2. I said that was the best case of all time because for $100 you're getting RGB, metal, solid construction, versatility, bunch of cool stuff. If you wanted to just build a quick system in it, it was, you know, at $100, maybe worth it to you in a case that you could grow into. This one here, though, I'm not going to say that like your regular gamer should go and buy this. There are better cases for you. But if you're into hardcore water cooling, or you have a lot of hard drives, or you want a CD-ROM for some reason, or you want a case that can switch from air cooling over to a water cooling focused case, or you just want something you know that's got a really big inside, like it's very long. I actually thought I got the XL version of this when they sent it to me, but then I looked and the XL version is even bigger than this case, but it's very long, so you could fit lots of stuff in here, like pumps and water blocks and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So I'm all over the place. Let's get focused. So we'll start with the box. Open the box up. This comes in the box, you know, with the computer case, and it's got this panel in it, which makes it really good for water cooling. So I'll pop that on in a second. But it also comes with 4 hard drive bays. And I was like, where the hell do these go? There's a trick up its sleeve. So I'll take one of those out. Comes with 4 of them in here. Comes with even, there was, where is it? Silk cloth to wipe the tempered glass down that was included in this little box of screws and stuff. I think the only thing that was missing from it is maybe some extra Velcros. There are Velcros in the back of it that you could use for cable management. This just has some zip ties. It says kind of what's on there, but yeah, can't complain. Nothing was really forgot about too much in this. I'd be nitpicking to really complain. So throw that on the ground. Got my nice Fractal wipe here, just in case I need to get some fingerprints off this buddy. But so as it stands, this is how it's delivered. It's got 3 140mm fans in it. They're DC, and they, you know, tout on their website that there's some good fans, but they're a mid-range cheap fan that you'd include in a case. There are better fans out there. But if you don't hook this thing up to your motherboard or use the included fan controller with PWM support to your motherboard, if you just hook it up to SATA, this thing will just kind of blow enough air for just a normal everyday system. So you're not going to need, you know, it's going to be very silence focused, which I really like. If you want a silence-based computer, this thing's great for that. Rubber matting and all of the well, here, I'll show you. So rubber matting in this front door. There you go. And if you want CD-ROM support, you might notice that there's something in there. We'll talk about that in just a second. But rubber matting in this door, have it closed. You're not going to hear the fans, even if they are moving a little bit of air. We can go ahead and take the top panel off, and it can be swapped out. Boom, and there's rubber matting in this as well. See, it's so heavy I nearly dropped it. So this is really nice. Or if you want some water cooling support, put the mesh one on top. Everything locks in with these like little ball retainers that really lock things in. I like the like tactile feel of it clicking into place over like magnets or something like that. So there you go. Now you have, you can put a 360 AIO in here and put it on the top. It actually definitely will fit 360 mil AIO, even though there isn't that much room. And then if you need even more room, there is an XL that you could put even more rad support up at the top. But you could definitely put a 360 in the front or a 360 on top. They even say if you're going to do a custom loop, you could put a 240 mil rad on top of the PSU shroud, which is something I guess you could do. It would be pretty annoying. You could also move the hard drives, the 2.5-inch hard drive mounts on top of that power supply shroud. There's 2 of them that come in the back, pre-installed, as you see here. You can actually move them and put them on top of the power supply shroud if you want to show off your SSDs. There's a lot of RGB SSDs these days, so that's very versatile, very, very cool. So fans included, and then like I said, there is, when you take off the back panel, which also has rubber matting, there is a set of fan controllers in here that are built out of the way. Really, really cool. They plug into their own powered SATA. They have a PWM connector. That way you can plug them in on a header on your motherboard and have it send signals for RPM and grab information from the board to ramp the fans up. But there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 3-pin DC fan headers here, and then another 1, 2, 3 PWM ones on the other side. So you can hook there's a fan controller for up to 8 fans in this thing, like right off the hop, and they can connect to your motherboard. So it's very, very nice, very, very cool. And then while we're back here, there's the 2.5-inch drive sleds. There's another drive sled that's built into here that you can just unscrew and put even a 3.5-inch drive onto this thing and mount it here, or mount it in a couple other places. It'll mount kind of as like the same size as a fan does, so you can kind of put it in a bunch of different spots. Great cable management, great channels. I've seen these channels on other computer cases, and they don't really help. They don't really do well. This was perfect for my my 24 pin and my PCIe connector fit perfectly in here, and then my other 8 pin fit up here. So really cool stuff. This really was an easy case to cable managing. Then you open this up, and this is how it comes stock out of the box, less the mesh panel I've installed so far. There's a drive cage for 2 3.5-inch drive bays, and then it's floating. So if you undo some screws on the bottom, you can move it around in there, depending on how much room you need for your PSU. Or if you pound some water, some radiators in the front. So that's pretty cool. Or another thing that's really cool is in this exact configuration, if you want to add 2 more hard drives, you could buy another one of those drive bays on their website, and 2 of these. So for $30, you could throw another 2 3.5-inch drives in this thing as it's configured right now, right here. Great cable management, great everything. So as a case, so far it seems pretty cool. It's got this nice cover here that pops into place so that you can hide your power supply, your cable management. Really, really good stuff. But then it starts to get really crazy after that, because I don't know if you noticed, but there's some weird panels in the front, and I thought maybe they just got removed. If you want to put, like I was thinking, maybe you could put fans in the, like actually mounted vertically in there, like this and this. But no, this has this section that comes out of here, these 2 plastic panels, and then another plastic panel in there, and then you take the actual metal structure. Well, here I took B-roll of it out of the side of this thing, and then you mount it on the other side of the case in here, and then it begins to look like an older style case, like maybe from 10 years ago or something like that. But the added advantage of this is you can take these 4 extra drive bays that it came with and plug 4 more drives in there, mounted kind of vertically here in the case. And they're hidden. Like Be Quiet kind of does that with one of their cases, but it wasn't really well executed because they were just kind of always in there and you had to take them out. The great part about this is it's a kind of everyday case everyone's using these days, but if you want to turn it into a hard drive monster, you really can. So 1, 2 in the bottom for 3.5-inch drives, comes with an extra 4, plus that bracket thing that you can mount a hard drive in a fan spot. So you can put up to 7 3.5-inch drives in here and 2 2.5-inch drives. And then you could go ahead and order more of these, and there's even more spots to plug them in. I think I counted you could fit a total of 11 hard drives in here with more of these drive sleds. And then you could even go ahead and add another drive cage down there and add 2 more. before. It's insane. If you want to run a NAS, then this is your case because it's got modern features. It's really like looks well, but you can transform it, as it will, to something that holds like a butt ton of hard drives. And then there's an XL version that's even taller than this that lets you put even more hard drives in it. So this thing is great for water cooling because of all the room inside for pumps and rads and stuff like that. Lots of positions. And it also is great for hard drive NAS support. If you need a CD-ROM, I mentioned that here, you can literally flip this bracket here. It comes out like that. There you go. This thing comes out, and underneath it, it has a metal bracket that you can flip sideways, and it turns into a sled that will hold a full 5.5-inch drive in there. So that, or 5.25-inch drive, like a CD-ROM in there. So that's absolutely awesome because it's unneeded. It's unnecessary. They didn't have to do this. But some server guys who will want this case will want to have that optical drive in there, and they have the option, and all it is flipping a few things around. It's pretty cool. So it has like loads of support for fans. You could put 320 mils in the front. You could put two 140s. You could put, I'd say, 4 120s on the top panel. You could put a 360 mil rad at the top, as it were. You could buy that bigger version and go even crazier. Just vertical GPU mount, they literally didn't even leave out one thing that you would think a computer case could do on this thing. Vertical drive mount, just in case you want to buy the actual accessory and put a vertical drive in there if you're doing a water cooled build. That's a great option. Makes it so you can show off your block. That's really cool. And EATX support for the most part, maybe not a super big giant motherboards, but it'll fit an EATX board like Threadripper board, and they're absolutely no problem. It'd be pretty cool. So all in all, man, like the last thing I think I got to talk about here is no RGB at all. There is a white power button in the front. That's the only damn light in the whole thing. Black fans, so no RGB fans or anything like that. So all of you RGB people out there might be like, well, that's a little different, but amazing manual that I actually had to dive into to figure out how to transform the case. And it was like, oh, they just put everything in here, everything you'd ever need. Whether you're a novice and you're building, just a regular computer from scratch, or you want to figure out the ins and outs of how crazy this case can get, that's awesome. Another really cool thing, and I just thought of this, is let's say down the line they want to retool this. Oh, there's, of course, everything has a nice dust filter on it. You could remove it for a little more airflow, or it's just a really nice option to have them here. There's one on the top. There's one inside here. Open this up. You can pull this one out. So there you go. They're, I could feel that there's like some sort of coating on them, so they'd be good for grabbing dust. Something this, you take this off, go clean it in the sink. Same as the top one. It comes off real easy once the top panel's off. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say you could pull this off, and they could sell a version of this case where this is mesh. And I bet they will. Listen to me, Fractal. That would be really cool because I'm sure you could retool, because this comes off and it doesn't have any like power buttons attached to it or anything like that. Maybe make it as a accessory you can buy, but make a mesh version of this thing that you can just swap in place of this, or sell a version with the mesh, and then you've got basically everything covered. Now, I mean, am I really complaining too much? Here, boop, boop, boop. Because if you need airflow, you can just open the door. Like, I know it's a little annoying, but it's there. But a mesh version of this would be very, very cool. So I think I've covered just about everything. I don't know, price, $159 for the non-tempered glass version, $169 for a tempered glass version. Has a white and black version like this, a full black version, or a full white version, which is really, really cool. There is a dark tint for your glass. There is a light tint, which I have right here, which is great for showing off this nice white in here. And then there's also an XL version, which starts at $189.99, and then what is it? $199.99 for $200. You get the even bigger version with a standard side panel, or for $209 you get a tempered glass version for that XL. So it really covers like so many different levels of things. The only thing I think it doesn't cover very well is being like a budget friendly, like lower end case. But that's not what this is. You can't have, you know, your cake and eat it too, so to speak. But you can have your $150, $160, $170 cake and then transform this into whatever kind of cake you want, which is pretty awesome. It's really an interesting case, and once I started diving into it, I was on board. So I'm at Watch Timmy Joe Instagram and Twitter. I'll see if I can find it on Amazon. I'll try and update the links just in case you want to buy one and use my affiliate code. But I'll leave all the links in the doobly-doo. But this thing is just so versatile, so cool. I definitely want to do a full water cooling build in this thing for my main system. I have this nice MSI giant case behind me. I was thinking of doing it in that, but this thing's a little better suited for it, actually. And with the hard drive support, I've got lots of hard drives in my main editing system. I should be able to figure something out here. That'd be pretty cool. Do a vertical GPU mount and stuff like that. So we'll have to see that come up soon. But I'll watch Timmy Joe Instagram and Twitter. I want to thank Fractal for sending out the Define 7. I thought I got the XL, but no, it's just the Define 7. A huge, awesome, versatile case that can cover pretty much anybody's wildest dreams when it comes to computer building. The only thing it doesn't do well is be like under $100. And for all it does, you can't really fault it for that. So thanks to Fractal for sending this out. Hope to see more stuff from them in the future. And what do you think? Comments below. What do you think of this case? Pretty cool what it does, or is it just like over-engineered for your taste and you know, stuff that's useless to you? As far as you know, the everyday gamer, I don't think that this is going to move too many needles. But for serious computer enthusiasts, this thing is kind of the new gold standard for versatility, in my opinion. I think that's pretty cool. So I will see you guys in another video. Thank you very much for watching, and go check them out on Amazon. Buy like 3 of them on my affiliate code, and I'll see you guys later.